Welcome back to my fifth lecture for SOAPUI, Simple Object Access Protocol User Interface. Okay, so this is our fifth lecture. So back in fourth lecture, that was yesterday. I mean, for me it was yesterday. What we did was we executed visual scripts. Remember, we did for numbers to dollars and numbers to words. Just we'll go back there, and we also did assertions. Let's open that particular script. Yeah. So we also did assertions here. So here is the number and it converts into dollars. Okay, that's the whole concept of this of the web services actually. Wisdom. So what I did was 10, and I executed it, and it showed as $10, and we asserted this. We put the assertion, remember, and oh, hold on. So XML, this is the XML file, this is a raw file, and we put oops, not this. So this was the, so you can add a lot of features from here. Okay, so supposed to be something is missing here. Okay, so let's close this and send a request. And we did yesterday we was we submit a request, and we also went through this logs. Okay, so these are SOAPUI logs, and we got the SOAPUI logs. These errors are, some reason these errors are still there. So in HTTP logs, and JT log, error log doesn't show anything. Memory log, at this point of time we don't require that. I'm almost lost. Oh, this is the reason why I always do mistakes. Okay, so what I was doing, right, I was pointing it around place. I was not executing my test case. So this is my test case. You cannot put assertions. I was looking for assertions, and where is my assertions, kind of things. Okay, great. So this is the real test case. So you can put assertions only on your test. Here, let's see, 100, that's fine. So this is my assertion, and I ran this one, and my assertion gets it's still running, is it? So this is supposed to be running here, SOAP here. So I hope it's still running. For some reason it's taking too long, but you can only add assertions only in the test case what you created. Okay, you cannot do that in the, let's see what's going on. Oh, this has been stuck. You cannot add assertions in the actual script. So this was the actual script which I took it, and I was trying to see where the assertion. Okay, so this is something happened to it. This got stuck completely. Probably I'll restart this one. We could so yeah, it's completely stuck, and I will restart it. It's actually running it, but for some reason it got stuck, and I'll restart it and see this thing is software SOAPUI. So that's what I was doing in the wrong, right? So you cannot have assertions in the script itself. You have to have assertion in test case. Make sure you know that one. Okay. So we were looking. There are a lot of options for assertions. See here, if I go here, okay, here you go. Alright, so this is my test case. Oops, close this one. Yeah, expand this, and first we'll run this. First thing is okay, good. Now it's ran successfully. Now here, yeah, there was something going on. So assertion is valid and valid. You can see that one. So if I change this one, so yesterday was the whole thing we did all this, right? Let's talk about. Oops. Okay. You have a lot of assertions. You can put recently used a property. If you have JSON path count assertion. So what exactly is this assertion? We discussed yesterday though, but assertion is kind of checkpoint. You're checking that is it there in that script or not. That's all we are doing. That's called assertion. Compliance. If you have any SOAP fault or something. Script assertion, if you know the script, Groovy script, you can use this Groovy script. SLA, service level agreement, all those things. JMS, this JMS also, and JDBC is the security. So we did a lot of things here. So my whole point was to show you how to add this assertion. So that was a very important topic for the SOAP UI. The reason, because running is simple. Anyone can run the script provided you have the script and provided you know what you're doing here. You want to append some values here. You can see here you're appending some values and you're getting response from the server. The script runs. If you see here, this is where 5:23, you see that, and you have this log. Always do yourself a favor. Make sure this is this file, export this file to .log file. Make sure .log file, and make sure if you have any issues you have to request to the developer, or if you want to be a developer, you can see these logs and see what's wrong, if anything is wrong here. Okay, so make sure all this is good. Then you have this error log, VSRM log, and memory log. So memory log, we will talk about that later. Okay, so that's what we were trying to do. Now we also did for I'm sorry, wrong script. Okay, let's open the script. Actually, you have to open the script. You have to open the script. This is the script. So numbers to words, and we did this too. Go ahead and click on this. You see here it ran, and this number is changing into figure. Okay, that's what it is doing. So numbers to words, that's what it is. And we have this assertion as 100, and it is, we did, I did some mistake, gave some spelling mistake. Because of my spelling mistake, that assertion got failed. So that's how so it's not necessary all the assertion should get passed, because this is a very simple script. This is super simple script. I mean, in real time it doesn't exist, this simple script, but I'm just showing you as an example, because you have to start from somewhere, right? You'll start from 0. So start from 0, 1, 2, 3. This is the 0. This is 0th point you're learning. This is a joke. Web, WSDL is not this simple. This is the easy one. It's like converting into 100 to 100, and that's all. Okay, good. Let's do load testing in this. Okay, we'll do load testing, and probably in the next class we'll do security testing. So this is the 4th lecture, and I've attached. Oh, I'm sorry. It's 5th lecture. I'm really sorry. 5th lecture, and there is no attachment. There is no handout for this one. Let me check. There's only for functional testing and XPath tutorial. So I'll be adding that one. So there is no handout for this one. But here this is pretty simple. So but for load testing, let's do load testing. It's very simple. it's again running the script. But running the script, but the way you run, if you see this icon, it has become from gray to green color. If the assertion gets failed, it becomes in red color. If you notice those things, okay. Probably if you have these graphs, I don't think there's a graph. So I hope this is supposed to have some kind of graphs. There's no graphs unfortunately, but never mind. We don't require any graphs for this, because it is not something new. We are just testing wisdom. Okay, this is that's it. I mean, that's how you do it. But this is very simple script. Technically, you don't have that simple script. Okay, probably a little complex one, which I showed you yesterday. This is little complex. This screenshot, this is a little bit more complex, where you put the IP address, region, all those things, and add and then get the response. Okay, this is medium complexity. We'll go to high complexity just a moment once we finish this class. Okay, probably the next class or future classes, but hopefully by today we will end this all classes for SOAPUI. Probably just what I'm planning. So that's tomorrow I have one another scheduled meeting. So okay, so here what I'll do is select this load test. Now I'll do load testing. Load testing for what? Load testing for numbers to dollars. Okay, so what I'll do is, do I want to double click it? Let's do this. No, it's not working. Okay, go ahead and click on new load test. See, when you created this low script, right, remember you have this check mark, always do load testing for that. We didn't do that, remember? So what you want to do right now, since we didn't do that, now we have to do this new load test. We'll put as load test 1. Okay, great. These, I have to be honest, this doesn't have any many graphs, but we'll do this. Okay, but we still do this. Okay, so load test, and for this we have this load test 1. Okay, so what we are doing, here's the thing, we'll make it simple. So we are doing for numbers to dollars. Okay, so we are taking how much time. So what is load testing exactly? So you are identifying the bottleneck of an application. So what you are doing delay of, so there are a lot of parameters: simple, burst, thread, variance. We'll go for simple for now. Test delay 1000 and random 0.5, limit 60 seconds. That means it runs for 60 seconds. Okay, that's good. We don't want more than that. Threads, 5 threads. Okay, that means it's kind of iteration. Okay, we have load testing assertions too. That's fun. Okay, so now let's do this. Which test case I'm running? Can I add a new test case? No, I cannot. So now let's run this. Once we run this, so it's running. If you see, this is running. That's it. I mean, you don't have to do anything here. Here you see this time, 17-18% completed, and these numbers are changing, minimum and maximum, and the average, and the count, TPS. I think it's bytes and bits per second, and the error, and this. So this is not that helpful. Okay, what we'll do here is, okay, here you want to see this memory log. Okay, this is what you want to do. When this is running, I am limiting for 60 seconds. You can limit for any number of things. You can go ahead for 60 seconds, you can go for 1000 seconds, and so on. But in this class, I'm just limiting for 60 seconds. We don't need more than that at this point of time. You want to see this graph. This is running. Now this has stopped. 60 seconds is over, 100% complete. Here you want to, garbage collector, we don't want that. Okay, now this is the memory log. You want to see how much is allocated, how much is used. Okay, that's good. Anything new here? So this SOAPUI logs will be there, HTTP logs will be there. Now let's see this message. Can I open this? This message is, you cannot open it, but here it says that it ran for 1 minute, so that is 60 seconds, and it ended with 1 minute. Minimum is 259, maximum is 1497. So what it exactly did, it put the load. So here's the background. Let me give some background on this. So what is this load testing? So what happens, right? Whenever the application, let's take an application. Let's say 1,000 people are logging into that application at that same amount of point of time. At that amount point of time, 1,000 people are logging in. How much you're getting stress to the server? It's okay. The stress testing and load testing are two different things. Stress testing is you're also querying a database query. So here we are just doing load testing, not stress testing. Okay, stress testing is much more complicated, and I don't think this has that option here. So that's it. I mean, this is how you do this load testing. But here's the thing. You want to check it out, the logs. Logs. Of course you do. This is the two logs which you have started it and which is ended it. This based on this time, how much time you have given per thread or per second. So we go to it per second. It's good. Yeah, I want to export this. Let's find out. Let's do this on my desktop and see that load test. I don't know what files it will save, but let's do this. Okay. Oh, so only these two things will get saved. So it will be XML file. So .txt will open through this .txt. Yeah. So the only thing, okay, I got this. So what happens is here only these two things are getting saved as rows. So you can save as Excel. But if there are a number of load testing, we will see this. If there are 4, there will be 4 different columns. 4 different rows. These are the columns. Okay, so that's how you do it. And let's check it out. These graphs. This total. I mean, this is how the graph looks like. Okay, this is the thread count. And the average that is in millisecond, error count, transaction per second, and bytes per second. Okay, this is the total, and the resolution is data. Okay, we'll go to total numbers 2, and this is how it looks like. Okay, great. So this you can export it. Let's see. Okay, let's find out. I want to save this as JPEG file or PNG file. Let's see. Oh, so I did some mistake. Let's do this. So everything you can store only in, unfortunately there is less option. So okay, let's save it. So you can take a screenshot, just like this, and just use this. This is the big deal. No, so I don't worry about this one. Okay, just take a screenshot and open this with this load. So go, there's a lot of data. So this one, so in 60 seconds, this is the data it has sent and received. Whatever this here, you have this thread, how much count, what is the minimum, max, and average, last count, TPS, bytes. So how much error and how much is received, it's shown here. Okay, this is a good. You can change that into text.txt file and see that. So that doesn't help. This graph is not actually, you cannot save this graph. I mean, it's not like you cannot save it. Use print screen and save it in Paint. That's the best thing you could do. Okay, so that's the total. Go to total and resolution of the data. A graph supposed to change, so it didn't. There's no refresh, right? So that's how you can do it. I mean, that's how for 250. Okay, so this is one graph you could do. So that's the statistics graph. Let's do history. statistics graph. So this is the average. Let's find out. This is the thread counts, how much thread counts, and average. You can use TPS. Okay, resolution 250. Oh, we want resolution, good resolution. Errors, how many errors? We didn't have any. Bit per second. I'm sorry, bytes per second, something. So this is how you get the graph. So this is a statistic history. So in load testing, there are much more things to do than just running this. Of course, you have to run this and get the data and plot the graphs. Okay, plotting the graphs is very important. Here in SOAPUI, you don't have this option of plotting the graphs, unfortunately. But if you are using a good tool like load runner, that does everything. That even does stress testing for you. But this has limited functionality. But still, it does. You have the statistics graph, and you can export it. I mean, you can. You don't need an option. Just use this print screen and go ahead and use this paint and just use this one. And this is, it doesn't get better than this. Use this one, and I don't care. I mean, if those guys don't have the option to save, this is the best way to save, right? Okay, now we'll just go ahead. You know, this is how you can save your graph. This is the better thing. Okay, you don't need any savings for this. The export option is like, what export? Is only exporting the data but not the actual graph. Okay, so I'm just bothered because I can take a screenshot and you know, save that graph. So that's pretty much for load testing for this. This was for numbers to dollars. Okay, numbers to dollars. Okay, guess what? You know what? This total. Okay, this is good. Guess what? I'll put it as a handout for you because if you want to know this graph. Okay, so this is how you do it. Take a screenshot. You know, probably in Pro version, you might have an option to export this as PNG file or PDF file, but in this particular scenario, you don't have this. So load testing, I'll just put load testing. So only one graph, unfortunately, but there is not one graph. There's a lot of graphs for load testing for numbers to dollars. This was for numbers to dollars. Okay, so num to dollars. Okay, and I'll save this file and put it as a handout. Although it may not make sense for you at this point of time, but when you're running this one, it might you know, make use of it. So this is just 6. So this is the graph for this. Okay, this is that simple, man. You don't have to worry about any. So graphs is very important, and the data, of course, the data is important. So we want to export this data for 60 seconds. So what I'll do here is for you, yeah, export this and .txt, or you want to put in .csv. Let's say if this works on CSV file, probably it should. Oops. So this actually did only for 2. Okay, there's an issue in my system, so don't worry about it. Let's see. But if I want to see this graph and I want to, okay, so this is, I want to export it. Okay, so this is from my end. Okay, so don't worry about this. Yeah, this did good. Yeah, this is the data for the graph. Okay, that's fine. So this looks good. So what I will do here is data. load test data for this 159 rows to the file. That's fine. Let's find out. This is load test and this is load test data. Let's see. So here this is what happened when we ran the data, right? So this is very important data. From this you actually can create reports. So creating a report and creating a graph like this will be, is a different thing altogether. That is something which I'm not showing in this class, but I'll put this as a handout for you guys so that you might have some idea on this. So what we are doing here, okay? So this was load testing. That's it. I mean, not that's it. It's kind of, we ran only for 60 seconds, but it don't have to be 60 seconds. People ran for hours together and figure it out, because if you're running for hours, the data will be more. The more data, the graphs will be more accurate. Okay, the graphs will be like much more accurate graphs, and the error count will be there and a lot more information. But this has only one graph, unfortunately. But it's not just one graph, there are so many other graphs. You have to look on memory, how much memory it is taking when you're running. This is also have to be taken into consideration when you are taking into load testing, and you are not putting any checkpoint. You don't have this transaction time, start transaction time, end transaction time. So you don't have anything like this in SOAPUI. That's a little bit a drawback. So that's why people prefer load runner. Load runner is a tool to test the load testing. But nevertheless, this is a tool for layman people, for people who cannot afford. This is a good tool. You can get a lot of data. You got this data, plot your own graphs. You get even the graphs, just take the screenshot. That's how you can do. And memory, make sure you take the screenshot of the memory too. That's fine. Okay, so you can use this as a load testing. This is how load testing is done. Okay, so that's pretty much it's two entries, the start and end. Okay, so we'll do one more load testing actually, and then we'll move out to security testing. Okay, so we did numbers to thus. Let's close this. Now we'll do for numbers to words. Okay, so I'll go ahead and right click on this. Okay, create a new and say load test 1. Okay, great. Now I'll put threads as 10 instead of 5. We'll just make it a little complex. Strategy is simple. We don't or variance. I'll just go with variance. We'll go to simple. Test delay is 1000. Random is 0.5. We will just put as default. 60 seconds. I'll get a lot of data. Will not go for too much of time. If you have too much of time, you can do that. You can put as 1 hour or something, but you don't want to waste much time on this unless you are really doing some load testing part and getting graphs for it. But you don't want that one. So go ahead and click on this, and it's running. See here, 4%. Open the memory log, see the memory. Okay, see the data changing. So the average last count, we are running for this 10 threads. 10 threads gets you more memory usage. See here, the usage of memory is increasing. Now we are not just testing the memory, we are also doing a lot of things here. We are getting this, putting load and how much memory from the server it is utilizing. You see here, this graph is changing a very spike, a lot of spike here. Alright, this is complicated, and you are getting a lot of data. This all data, 75% is completed, and now this is how you do actually load testing, and that's it. This is what you do the whole day actually. And that's it. This got ended. Now this is the log. Take the screenshot. We'll take the screenshot and for ease of convenience. I'll just put the same thing as, numbers, 2 words, save it. Okay, and I'll save this in desktop, and here. Okay, great. Now I'll just hide that one and see the graph. Let's view the graph. Okay, this is the graph for 60 seconds. Okay, fine. I'll take a screenshot, and see, we don't need the pro version for this. Why would I require pro version when I have the screenshot option? So here I'll just use this, whatever is required for me, not everything, and I'll use that and save as load testing for num2 words, right? So it's num2 words. Okay. And don't forget the data. Export this file into here, data. We know it is the data num2 words. Okay, numbers 2 words, and save it as, let's see how much, 195 rows. That's fine. So this is, I'll put it as a handout, unless so this should be good. So this will be a handout for you, just in case you want to view this, how I ran. You can use the same option while running. This is your homework, right? So I get negative feedback because they say like I'm not giving assignment. So this is your assignment. Yeah, of course I'm not giving any physical assignment, but take it this assignment. Do this load testing for we have a lot of web services. Guess what? Free web services. Where is that? This is here you go. So we have a lot of tests. You have weather data to test, you have NASA and delayed start 3-1. So we'll see if we can go through that. Probably I'll go that one and show you all of them at once, and I'll go pretty fast because you know what we are doing here. Okay, so that's pretty much for load testing. Okay, so we'll go to the next class and see the security testing, and after that we'll go for REST and application is probably similar kind of thing, but we'll go through that. Okay, so and actually I'll save this one, save our project, otherwise everything will be lost. Let's save it. So it's saved here, and that's it for now. And I hope you like this video, and if you have so this is your assignment, run the load testing for this. If not for this, there are a lot of web digital services that is in your handouts. Use that one, run it, run with the test case, and get the results, get the data out, plot the graph. That's all you want to do for the load testing. Now how the you want to see how the error response and how the spike. Of course you want to see the memory also, how much utilization of memory is used. You want to do all this. So that's your homework. Okay, if you are not getting assignment, so this is your assignment. Okay, so that's pretty much for this class for load testing. I'll see you in the next class for security testing. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next class.